All right, so to my friends, I'm not going to say the name of the scrapyard, but you guys know who sells me pallet loads of computers. This is not a computer, and it was in the last pallet load. So now you guys told me that it came in as a wrapped pallet, so you may not have known that whoever you bought it from was scamming us. But that last load, they had a bunch of stuff in there that wasn't computers. A couple of subwoofers, this, and some chunks of metal pipe and stuff that were stuffed in to try to add weight. So guys, we're gonna need to be more careful. I'll call you and speak directly about it. But in the meantime, let's see what we have going here. Oh no. Well, that's upsetting. We have a bird who has decided to come in the shark cage. Oh, I sure hope that that bird finds its way out before it's time to lock up today. I don't want to get them. Fly, be free. Fly, be free. Go out, out, go out. There you go. Okay. I wonder if a bird got trapped in here, if it would be okay if it got trapped overnight, and then when I came in the next day, if it would just be really mad, and as soon as I open the door, fly out. All right, so I don't know what this is. Cornelius. It's heavy. Flathead screws, so it's going to be kind of old. It's got brass connectors here. To avoid contamination of potable liquids, do not connect copper tubing or fittings between this point and points of delivery. I don't know, water heater? It's got a tank manufacturer label there. I don't know. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Oh, these are flatheads, but I think they're also 1/4 inch, so we should be able to get things opened up relatively easily here. Hey, you know what? For my new viewers, when you see me throwing stuff on the ground, what I'm doing is throwing the little metal bits into this mailbox. One of my clients repairs mailboxes, so I end up with a lot of mailboxes, and they make very good containers for the little screws and nuts and bolts and things like that. All right, what do we have here? Plastic. Nuts and bolts can add up really well for weight, so you don't want to just throw them away. Ugh. Shred steel. Yeah, we've got some sort of water handling system here. This is clearly a pump. This is a tank. Pressure relief. There's no pressure in the tank. Interesting, interesting, huh? So these are Phillips screws, but they are in rusted up condition. All right, so I've got the screws loosened up, and I think if I just push them up to the bigger part here, this should come right out. There we go. That worked. All right, that was much better than trying to unscrew this whole thing. All right, so this was spring-loaded weight. So when the tank got full, it would go down like that. And I assume that would turn the pump on or off, depending upon what it was supposed to be doing. One way or another, there's a spring-loaded switch here. And that switch is obviously, you can see the switch right there. So the idea was, let's see, when it gets heavy, it's going to go down and close the connection. So I guess that would turn the pump on. I don't know. I'm making this stuff up. I have no idea what this is doing. But it's water. I don't know if you can see the water here. Yeah, that's water. It's not oil. All right, wait a minute. Let's see. What do we get? Stainless steel tank. And then ferrous here. So, can I separate? It's welded. Yeah, we can try to break the weld so that we have the stainless steel tank. And then this can go in with the shred. We'll see. We'll see if we can make that happen. Now, let's go ahead and get this tubing out of the way. And we'll get some wire out of the way. Not a whole lot of wire out of the way though. So what are you? Another sort of solenoid switch for controlling the water however it was being controlled. You know, it's hard to say. That's clearly a pump. A motor with a pump. Oops. Now, how do you want to come off? Let's see. Oh, you're a little bigger than that. There we go, 3/8. Let's see, what are these? Ferrous. Ferrous. All right, now. Get you out of there. A little bit more wire here. That's just number 2 insulated. Something here. Let's see if we can see what's inside there. I mean, that's where the power was going in. Maybe a switch? No, just the junction. Just where they were wiring it up. So it was just a place for them to access the wires to wire this thing up. Cornelius Incorporated, Anoka, Minnesota. And there's a part number. I'll try to look up that part number before we post this video. This is really cool. I found this online, and that's the same logo that was on this piece of kit that I'm scrapping here. So this must have been one of their early water dispensing systems or treatment systems or carbonator systems or something like that. Very cool. Been around since 1931, so it doesn't surprise me that I found a system, older system like this from them. Some wire, number 2, insulated. Now we have a steel shell. Oh, I want to get those brass connectors off of there. Yeah, what are you? I don't know, that's either brass. Hard to see. Hard to see the color on that. Brass. Makes sense, because it was threaded onto brass. Let's see if we can get this off. I'm probably going to need to take this over to the vise and get it in the vise. So let's get these off, and then we'll head it over to the vise. All right, we need to get that unscrewed. Well, let's make sure. Wait a minute. Let's see. That might just be plated brass. Let's find out. Yep. Yeah, that's just plated brass, so that's all brass. That, however, that crimp end might be stainless steel or aluminum. It's pretty soft. Oh, no, that's brass too. All right, cool, all brass. That makes that easy. And I don't think those, yeah, that's not, that was. Right. Now, we have the pump. So, let's get you disconnected. You think they used enough connectors here? Man. Okay. And I can see by the threads that that's brass, so that's all going to go in with the brass. All right. The Cornelius Company, Anoka, Minnesota, Procon Carbonator Pump. Oh, okay. Procon Carbonator Pump. Interesting. You look brass. Are you brass? You look like you're brass. Let's put this steel out of the way. Give us some more room to operate here. Get this band clamp off. So this one time at band clamp, oh, sorry, I couldn't help myself. I hope that's not going to get me a claim. People from American Pie upset with me. Yeah, what are you? Feroz. All right, now. We have another one. Yeah, that's a very long one. Let's see here. Let's see if I can do this with a flat head bit. Ooh. Save myself a little spinning exercise going on here. Well, don't go too fast now, Sharky. All right. And let's see, what are you? Ferrous? Stainless. All right, well, there's the carbonator pump off of the motor. Interesting. Hey, Mike, you want me to send you a pump? Here's a carbonator pump duty connections. Anyway, here's a Emerson pump for the carbonator pump duty thing. What do you think, Mike? You want me to send this to you, man? Let's go ahead and get that part off too. Come on now. There we go. All right, mounting bracket. And now we have the pump. So I'll have to decide if I want to spend the time to bust in there and try to get the wire. There's probably going to be some copper wire in there. It's a little bit older. This is really interesting. I mean, this is all sealed up, so there's no way that I'm going to be getting inside of that unless I choose to cut it. And you can see that there's metal there. And is it ferrous? Yeah, it's magnetic. So what I will probably end up doing is removing the valves and things. That'll open this up a bit more, and then we can decide what we're going to do. We may need to head over to the vise. And then motor, I have to decide if I want to spend the time breaking this down or sell it as a motor. But for right now, I'm just going to get it out of the way. Wowzy. Wowzy, wowzy. Come on, baby. Okay. There's one nice brass piece. Yeah, I tell you what, if I'd have known this vise was going to be this much of a problem, I thought this was a good idea, having a vise that would rotate, but it's not really that good of an idea when it comes right down to it, because it rotates when you don't want it to. All right, you. Come on, baby. Yeah, see what I mean? The vise starts to turn and defeats the purpose of having a vise. All right, that one came off. So we have a nice little brass cap there. And let's see, there's a plug here, if that plug will turn. Yeah, that'll turn too. It's a spring-loaded plug here. So there's a nice brass plug, and it was spring-loaded, so that was some sort of pressure regulating device. Sometimes these things just need a little convincing. And let's see, maybe a little better grip. Ugh. So we're going to go clockwise once to give it, maybe loosen it up a little bit, maybe. Then we're going to go counterclockwise. Man, that bad boy's tight. All right, well, let's see. Okay, we got one more piece that we might be able to get off. See if we can get this cap off. And that has a filter piece on it. So we would have had the water coming in, or whatever the fluid was, and then going through this filter. And what is this filter made of? Brass. Yeah. So we have a brass filter here. More brass. Now the question is, do I want to cut this thing open to get more brass, or just throw it in with my dirty brass? Let's try something a little different here. We're going to put the connector in there, and we'll see if we can get the main part to turn. Turn. Ugh. Let's see. Yep, we got it now. Man, that bad boy was in there tight. Ooh. All right, now we can get this connector out of here. So all that goes in with the clean brass. And then it's just a question of, do I want to cut this open, spend the time to cut it open, or, ooh, wait a minute. Look, we might be able to get the guts out through that ring. Ho, ho, ho. All right, damn it. Yep, I think that's going to be the right tool. Now these things can, this might have some, this might have spring pressure behind it. So I want to be careful here. Ugh. All right. Ferris? That didn't do me any good. Boing, boing. All right, I'm not worried about spring pressure anymore, popping anything out, so. That's not doing anything. I don't know. One of you all probably knows exactly what I have to do to get this to come out. And I don't, and I'm not seeing it.
So what does a good scrapper do when the hammer fails?
Cool beans. And that's the inside of a carbonator valve. All right, so we got spring loaded there. I'm not exactly sure. This is a rubber gasket here, or a plastic gasket of some sort. But there's only one place that you'll find graphite on an RBMK reactor, and that's a different TV series altogether. All right, so here's what we ended up with. That was a lot of work. Man, yeah, I should have just thrown that in with my dirty brass because that was an awful lot of work. But hey, we got it opened up, and it was interesting to see what was inside of it. We'll get, we have one more spring down inside here. I don't know if you all can see that. We have one more spring down inside of there. We'll get that spring out of there, and then that's a nice big old chunk of brass. Now, was it really worth the effort to go after this? Yeah, probably not. But it was very interesting, and if you want to see more interesting shark scrapper videos, follow these links to more videos. And then this round thing in the middle, that's to help you to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And hopefully the next ones will be more efficient.